Bill Maher wants to let the world know that Donald Trump isn't a racist. Where was this energy from all these people like a few weeks ago when people were terrified out of their mind because of this misogynist, racist, xenophobe, homophobe was going to be put into office or potentially be put into office? We need to fight to save democracy by allowing Kamala in office. Where was this energy then? I'm not complaining. I'm grateful for it now because he is the president-elect and he's going to be in office on January 20th. Thank the Lord. But where were you? That's all I want to know. But before we get into this video, make sure to subscribe to Resist the Mainstream right now because it ensures YouTube that you are enjoying this content and that if you're enjoying it, they'll continue to show it on your feed and then they'll push it out to more people as well. I'm Titus. Let's get into this video.
So here's the thing.
Right.
So there are all these, white boys are talking to me about Trump and, he's a terrible racist. And it's like, well, how could the black people vote for him more than each time? And, they didn't vote for him a lot more, but men did.
Right, men did.
Okay. And I said, you know what? I don't want to speak for all black people, and this is where I need to tell you.
Sure.
You tell me if I was wrong or right.
Okay.
I said, you know what I think black people think about Trump? Like, is he a racist? Yeah, but they think every white person is kind of a racist. And do they think that white people behind closed doors talk like Trump? Yeah, he's just a crazy person.
That last part right there. It's not that. It's not.
He just says it out loud
as black people. I don't want to speak for all black people, whatever.
No.
Obviously,
because they're not all alike.
That's right.
All.
Exactly.
Before he even does this, let me tell you, as a black person, nothing Trump has ever said has made me think he's a racist. Nothing. People go, oh, the Central Park Five. You mean that time when they pleaded guilty in mainstream media and everything at the time was stating that they were as well? That he just went with what was public knowledge at the time? You can't use that against him. Oh, when he didn't allow certain black people to be in his apartment complexes or his hotels. It's like, what are all the logistics in individual circumstances of those cases? And how can you sit there and target only black people as if there weren't white people that he probably also did not allow to be in his hotel for whatever reason may be? They couldn't afford it, whatever. Like, you can't say that he's a racist because of it, especially when he's friends with Mike Tyson. And Mike Tyson, to this day, I support him. I'm voting for him. That's my guy. What are you going to do about it? Like, you can't do that. Things are a lot more complex and just simple, like what you see at face value sometimes, because it's like you don't know the intricate details of why some things go the way they do. You can't attribute it to racism, especially when it's so far back in time that there's no way to even bring up the data or evidence on that fact or whatever the situation may be. It's ridiculous. Trump's not a racist. I'm talking like Trump. He's not a racist. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how they get to this conclusion, but I'd love to hear what Stephen A has to say on this.
But I will say this to you. As, being a black man, you don't look at white people and automatically think they're racist.
No.
You automatically know they're different than you, that they think different than you, that they come from a different cultural background and experience things differently than they do. Right. So that second part is very, very important because when you talk about how Trump talks, we're going like this. So that's the first time he talked like that when he became president.
That's not even necessarily true, though, Stephen A. Culture is from where you come from. So if you come in a predominantly white area and you're a black man, you're probably going to be attributed more resonating with that culture. Obviously, your skin is different. You're going to feel a little different. Not different. You're going to be aware that, oh, I look like this and most people look like this. But like if the wants, desires, likes, things that you guys are your culture ensues, you would be probably more aligned with that than to be dropped into some like inner city area and be like, oh, I don't even know how to handle this. Like, just because they look like you doesn't mean that they necessarily relate to you. And I think that's a distinction that it's just not made. Obviously, there's an element of even me as a black guy, I was raised in it. I always went to go visit my cousins in Detroit and like Muskegon sometimes, my family once in a while. So like I'll be around like the black culture or whatever. But like I was raised in a predominantly white area in like the suburbs of Grand Rapids, Michigan. So it's like I can resonate with both sides to a degree, but also like my culture was I had a lot of things that resonated with, I guess what you would say, white culture in a sense. I don't even know what it's not even white. It's just like, I guess, suburb, public school, whatever. And so I don't even think that's true that you are just like black and white people think differently. And I think it's more of like where you're raised and what you're raised like in the culture that you are in. That's what makes your thoughts and belief systems or whatever align, not your skin color. But I could be wrong. I don't think that I am, but I could be.
Who do you think you're playing with? We know better than that. We know better than that. We know that ain't the first time, and we know that the people that he was friends with all of these years, he talked just like that around y'all, and y'all didn't have no problem with it. Don't act like you have a problem
and
now.
also had some genuine black friends and black folks who like him.
Well, let me tell you this. I don't know if I told you this.
Because it's complicated.
I don't know
Life
if I told you
is
this.
complicated.
I wouldn't call myself his friend by any stretch of the imagination back in the day.
Right.
But I've told this on many occasions. I said this in my recent appearance on The View and stuff like that. Trump and I were friendly.
Right.
Before he ran for president. He used to have these boxing matches, particularly during the Tyson fights at the Trump casinos. He would be at the Knicks games and stuff like that. And if we're being totally honest, all the brothers found him to be cool.
Right.
They found him to be very cool. So let's be clear, because he knew his sports, all right? He would say what he feel.
Right.
He bucked the establishment, which we love. And we gravitated to that, and obviously he was.
And also, he was a certain age,
and it was cool.
Get a certain
it was cool.
understanding that white men of that age,
right?
They're going to be a little grandpa. We don't say that anymore.
No,
but like,
him.
Is he really like in his heart like hateful? No, I think
I've never.
I don't think his motivation is I don't like black people. I think his motivation is everybody must love me.
That's very true. It's just even Stephen A. I mean, Stephen A. has said some stuff I think not in favor necessarily of Trump, or like kind of debunking or not being as like adamant on all the ways that mainstream media has characterized Trump, and like kind of like maybe push back a little bit on it. And every time he did that, the black community would like roast his life for it. But what they're saying here is so true, and he even knows because he was around at the time where Trump was loved by everybody. So the black community loved him because we like people that are real and authentic and can bust your balls and make jokes and like in every other scenario, that kind of person you would like and gravitate towards. But for some reason, the black community has been lied to. That Trump's like the worst thing ever, and it's crazy how they fell for it. But Stephen A. is spitting bars here because we like those kind of people. Be real, be authentic, be yourself. And I mean, obviously, he doesn't actually hate them. He like you said, he'd have the fights at his casino with Mike Tyson, his black friend. And the whole black friend argument, like, oh, if you have a black friend, that doesn't mean you're not racist. Yes, it does. If your best friend, someone you really care about, if you do anything for, happens to be black, you're not racist. That doesn't even make sense. How could you be racist? Anyways, continue.
Thank you. And that's why, that's right there. What you just said, everybody must love me.
It's his narcissism. It's not his racism.
I have never called him a racist. I have never spoken about him that way. Ever. Not one time. Because I knew him beforehand.
Narcissism is drastic. I mean, maybe he has a little bit of narcissism. He's a big ego. I don't know about narcissist. He's a big ego. And yes, he wants to be liked and loved. We all want to be liked and loved. Now, obviously, some of us have a little more care than others in terms of how much people love us. Like for me, I couldn't care less on if everybody loves me, but obviously I don't want people to hate me either. Like, I'd like for you to like me, but if you don't, I'm not gonna like cry myself to sleep. It's okay. I don't know you. It shouldn't matter that much. But yeah, he's definitely a guy who likes to be loved by everybody. And that's a Trump effect. And he is loved by a lot of people because he has that effect on people. He's a funny, cool, seemingly real guy. And going to be our great president. And I'm so excited for it. But yeah, thank you, Bill Maher, for letting us know post-election that Trump's not a racist. He's just a guy who wants to be loved. I mean, I wish that would have been characterized prior. Maybe you could have got a few more people to flip for Trump. And if you don't think he's that bad, I'm pretty sure you didn't vote for him. So that if he's not that bad, why did you not vote for him? I don't get it. And we all know Stephen A. Smith probably did. But we'll just leave that up to our imaginations. All right, guys, make sure that you comment below your thoughts on the video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Subscribe as well, and I'll see you next time.